Okay, now you can hear me. So, this is a live recording of Minecraft Lab. And, hold on. I have no viewers. Okay. Anyway, this will eventually move to Twitch. The podcast recordings. I think it'll make it easier on both of us when we do the Minecraft Lab on Twitch together, and then anything InterRealms I will live stream on YouTube. Oh, he's not. I can't hear him.
That's called stalking.
Okay, now I can.
No, that's this whole Princess Bunny Troge thing has taken on a whole life of its own at the moment. It's yeah, it came from out of nowhere.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've finished my first cup of coffee and I'm moving on to the second pot of coffee.
That's what we like to hear. Beanie, can you hear Miner coming through? I hope. Anybody? Colt? Naku? It's a bit quiet tonight, Mr. Miner Thoughts.
Oh, that's... yeah, I've got... no viewers, but that's okay. I would just...
It's early days. It's
okay.
early. It's early.
I was telling my viewers...
Hi, Ree.
That I believe I'm going to move the official podcast recordings when we do Minecraft Lab. I'm going to move them to Twitch. So
he's coming back to Twitch.
He's coming back to Twitch.
He's coming back.
So when we do Horror Sundays or live podcast recordings, I'll do that on Twitch. But anything InterRealms will still be live streamed on YouTube.
I've inspired you, haven't I? No.
Wait.
The bunny has inspired you.
Okay. But who inspired who first to come to Twitch?
Actually, in my defense, actually, not in my defense even, but in, I don't know when it was, one of Drax's streams a while back, I think I joined him a couple of months back. We were talking about how, you know, we've each coming up to like 12 months of streaming. Mm-hmm. And we both actually, it might have been over the live stream weekend. We both said, you know, the reason we're here and doing this is because Miner started the ball rolling. We both went, ooh, there's something here. And Twitch, we arrived.
Well, I mean, I started talking about doing live streaming just because of time constraints of not being able to do a lot of video, and you don't have to edit really, so you could just jump on and do your thing and not have to worry about it and still put out content.
Yeah, and if you do it right, you can actually use some of that stuff that you're doing on a live stream in as video content, because that's what obviously everyone knows I love watching Impulse when I'm actually awake when he streams. But that's what he does. You see some of the stuff he's doing on live stream, and then you watch his videos and you go, you did that on live stream. And you go, oh, then it starts to click into gear that actually you can double up. You can save time. You don't have to look, oh, this video's, you know, got to do this time and this is for this. You can combine the two things and actually you get multiple forms of content out of the one session, which is great. What I am going to say real quickly is, Beanie, I'm really glad you found it. You keep those bunnies rolling. And hello, Aaron. Welcome in. And Miner, Beanie says hi.
Hi, Beanie. Yeah, I've been waiting.
And she's waving.
Hi, Beanie. I'm glad everybody could hear me this time.
And she says, I'm really happy you all did, because I'm happy I got to meet you all. And Beanie, we're really happy to have met you too.
Next live stream weekend, I will be a part of. I promise. I'll make the time.
On Twitch.
Okay.
Because that just makes it easier to raid you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, Aaron, I hope things are better for you after what happened last night during last night's stream. So hopefully your day has got much better, and hopefully today is a better day for you as well. Hopefully. Also, are you watching my stream, Miner, or have you got me up?
Yes, I do. There's a bit of lag, but
which there would be years.
I love the emote.
Yes, it's taken on a life of its own. Princess Bunny Troge is now an official part of things.
See, I've got a skin. I used it in season 1 of InterRealms during Christmas.
Shut up, Miner. Shut up, Miner. Shut up, Miner.
I think I need to get it in the editor.
Shut up, Miner. No one needs to know you've got a bunny skin that you can probably put my head into. No one needs to know that. But what I was about to say is, for those that don't know what's going on, obviously, if you didn't know, InterRealms has a podcast that comes out on a weekly basis, and one of those segments is Minecraft Lab. And one of those actually came out today, which is the last one that we did when we did a recording session with Magpie. That's it, Magpiecraft. And so we've decided once a month, if we can, we're going to do a live one of these recordings where you guys can get involved. If you want to actually call in, we've got a way you can do that. It's a bit haphazard, but it will work. So you just check out the Discord and you can actually hop on and have a chat with us if you so like. And yay, I can't wait for the next live stream weekend. I love it. Yeah. Mine, I don't know whether you know or not what Beanie did on the live stream weekend. You know what she did?
No. I might have missed it. I'm sorry.
Beanie set an alarm to go off at the start time of every stream so that she could see at least the start of every stream. And I think I can only speak for my own because I was present for 100% of my ones. She was on every minute of my stream for the 3 streams that I did.
Wow.
I was
That's
blown away.
Awesome.
Yeah. We've had super fans before, but I think Beanie takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Aaron was around for a lot of them too. So.
Wow.
It was just an awesome weekend all around, that one. And I can tell you, we have another one planned in September.
Sweet.
Date to be confirmed.
Yeah, I was looking at the dates. My brother's supposed to be coming out in September, I think. I got to find out which weekend, so it doesn't conflict. And then I don't know how many people have voted on that so far. I have to look at it.
Not a majority yet. Okay. Not a majority, but it seems there is one particular weekend that seems to be getting pushed the most.
Okay.
We'll see. I got a feeling, actually, there's a really good question. While we're waiting for maybe more people to filter in, we have, because our Father's Day is in September.
Oh, wow. June for the States.
No, it's the 4th of September, so it's,
yeah.
I don't think it'll be that weekend based on the votes already. So,
for me, I think that what is it? The 10th and 11th is looking the most positive for me, but I had to make sure.
Yeah, fair. I lurked, but I stayed for everyone. Yay! She did really well. And can I just ask if there's anyone here, Naku, if you're here, because you're the only mod that's here, although I can do it. Hang on. I can do this, Miner. Hang on. I can do it because I'm not playing games. I can be my own mod tonight.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute. Is that the right one? Hang on. Here we go. Right. I'll just put a link up. That's to Miner's stream. So if anyone wants to go across there and give him a lurk and maybe say hello in his chat, I'm sure it'll make him feel a whole lot better. I see a nod. Yeah. This is why I've moved away from Saturday night streams, Miner. Because no one's around.
Wow.
But,
did we do the last Minecraft lab on a Saturday, or did we do it on a Friday?
I can't remember.
Might have been a Friday.
I don't know. But I started to find on the Saturdays, like for Australians, well, my viewers are either, if it's not winter, they're out.
That's
they're
true.
out. Yeah. And then I also found, with Australian viewers, it doesn't matter what day, what the weather's like, we go out. So, because it's just nice weather all the time.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, we would have done it on a Friday, but my job has changed. My job position has changed. So I went from working night shift for the third shift for the past, 7 years, to working day shift. And I'm not used to it. It's too much sun, too much light.
I was going to say, you're looking very, what's the right word? You got a nice glow about you. Must be all that sunlight you're getting, all that vitamin D.
I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I try to stay in the shade. It's so hot.
Yeah, you guys in the Northern Hemisphere are copping it this year.
Yeah, you're in winter, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, but I'm sitting here in shorts and, this is our winter attire. Right.
I mean, I wear shorts all winter too. Well, sometimes.
Well, we get maybe like a cold snap 2 or 3 weeks. That's about it. And the rest of the time, nighttime, you sort of, might get into the mid-teens.
Beanie in chat.
Hey, look at that.
Beanie. Thank you for joining chat. You're the first one.
Thank you, Beanie.
You get the first badge. If I could give you a first badge, you'd have it.
If you were an affiliate on Twitch, you could be doing stuff like that too. Just saying. Oh, wait, you are an affiliate on Twitch. What are you doing?
I gotta see. In Discord, you guys were having discussions about Streamlabs and OBS and and problems with those. I haven't quite figured out how to do different profiles for OBS. I tried Streamlabs, and yeah, it is easier, but I was having conflicts, so I just said, eh.
I find with Streamlabs, it really is a resource hog. It definitely is. It doesn't run as smooth as what OBS does. But I'm an old man, Miner, as you know. I'm a man of advanced years. And the simplicity of which Streamlabs makes the integrations with things across the board, it was just, you know what? This is working for me. I can understand it. So it just was annoying when last week, I don't know what I think I know what happened, and I think it was my fault. I think what happened is, on the Saturday, I streamed on YouTube with Dean on DTG Family Gaming, and I obviously had changed my profile over to the YouTube setup. And I've accidentally, when I went to change it back, I've accidentally copied my YouTube profile, duplicated it into the Twitch setup. But what I don't understand is there were some scenes and sources there that I haven't used for close to 12 months. So I got no idea what was going on. It took me the better part of a day to reset it, and then it didn't work properly. And so I just went, you know what? And 2 days later, I had it, what I've got now. So, and Beanie, yes, you are everywhere.
Yeah.
Good to see. And Beanie, Beanie, while you're here, I'm just going to do a quick self-promotion. New channel in chat. New channel.
Nice.
Feel free to drop a subscribe on that. Feel free. I'd love to get to 20 before a video comes out. And I was chasing 20 down.
I got 2 viewers. Awesome. Ready to go.
One's probably me. One's me. Like, oh man, you have got. Wow, you got a lot of delay. From what I can see. Yeah.
Well, so do you.
That's all good.
The one I'm watching from you. I have the audio turned down, so
Yeah.
no weirdness.
Yeah, it's about 20-30 seconds. I think I got mine set to for stuff. Ah, right after you said Pixie was first. Ah, cool. Well, welcome in. I couldn't see that you'd subscribed, but so thank you. I appreciate that. Aaron, if you're listening, go subscribe. Colt, if you're listening, go subscribe. I know Naku has. Anyway, that's enough self-promotion. Well, I know we haven't got many here, but we've got we've got some important people here. So that's the important bit.
Right.
And you and I are used to doing this by ourselves anyway. So, we get into it and see what happens.
All right. I'm going to have to warn the people that are watching right now. Most of the discussions we have are, for the most part, lighthearted. And there's never really arguments or debates too much, but this may be a heated discussion. I'm just warning you in advance.
Did you see what I put on Twitter?
Yeah, well, yeah. Is the same thing you put in Discord?
Possibly.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
To be fair, you made a tutorial that requires going up above the bedrock.
Who designed the farm?
Well, I know, but that's that's just me. I mean, I have no problems with it.
Hey, I have, as you saw on last night's stream with Princess Bunny Troj, I have no idea about my scruples when it comes to benefiting subscriber counts. That's all I'm saying. But welcome back, Aaron. Good to see you.
So, should we get into it? Should I do the intro?
Let's get into it. I just realized I wasn't recording that pre-show, but I can take it off my VOD, so that's all good.
Well, I probably won't include that because I haven't started Audacity yet. We're going to try something different. So we'll have to
vibe and interesting.
We'll have to synchronize like we usually do. People will get us to see us do the synchronization, so I can throw this
behind the scenes. All right. Well, before we actually do that, let me crack my drink. And yeah, let me pour my drink. I assure you, if you can't see it, it is a drink. I haven't decided to use little boy's room or anything.
Dedication. Right. That's dedication to streaming.
I've got myself a stream buddy coming for Christmas. Not a stream buddy. What do they call him? Stadium buddy. That's it. I keep you empty and your thigh warm.
Oh, jeez.
There's one for your Keegers. I know that'll be making the Patreon clips.
Oh yeah, the outtakes.
Oh mate, you should hear the ones we did when we did the recap recording. That was at 4 a.m. my time after I'd just streamed and I'd been doing other things, and it was an extended stream. And we recorded that at about 4 a.m. my time. The outtakes that he has. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I may or may not have made reference to the fact that licking Tom Tom would be delicious.
Well, you are lickable.
I am lickable. Thank you. Beanie's just gone like, what? Enzyme. Oh, hey, welcome in, Enzyme. Confirmed he said it in the bathroom. Well, maybe. But yeah, so how about we get started and we go from there. So let me change my little pre-show to live. Hey, we are live.
Okay.
Hey, Sweeney's in with Lickable. Thank you. Imagine. Hey, you mentioned Lickable, and Sweeney shows up. We know what goes on in the Ocean Clan.
Oh no.
Ocean Clan feels. No, not liquor. Lickable.
Don't lick any goats.
Oh no! Let's not go there, Minor. Let's not go there.
Okay.
So let me just explain because I don't think someone like Aaron and Beanie have seen this before. So what we will do, this is obviously being recorded for a live stream, not a live stream, for a podcast. So we are actually going to do like the whole intro thing. So normally what happens, what we've just done for the last 20 minutes or so is what we call the pre-show or the extra samples, because it's a lab, so it's anyway. And they usually get uploaded to my Patreon feed. So this will be cut and put up there. We don't know what we're doing with all that just yet, but so if you're getting confused while we're doing a whole intro when we're already half an hour into a stream, that's what's happening.
Yep.
That's right, Enzon. That's why I use a green screen, so I don't want you to see the toilet behind me. Oh, yeah. But I'm ready when you are, sir.
Okay. I am pressing record on Audacity. Welcome to Minecraft Lab. Oh, wait, hold on. Back that train up.
Whoa, beep, beep, beep. We need to synchronize. Are you ready? I'm ready to synchronize when you are.
In 3, 2, 1, snap. All right. Do that to synchronize audio in the editor. Hello and welcome to Minecraft Lab, where we explore, experiment, and theorize about all things Minecraft. We're live again today with the Troge and
myself. Minor. Yes.
And myself, Minor Thoughts. Today we've got quite a bit controversial subject. Well, maybe when it just comes to the Troge and I, maybe it's controversial.
Look, Minor, everyone has the right to have an opinion, and you have the right to be wrong, and I respect your right to be wrong.
Oh, nice. Nice. But real quickly, if anybody's wondering about the snapshots or the updates that are coming out for 1.19, we're really not going to go into that because they are still working on it, and we know it's controversial for a lot of people, but and everybody has their own opinions. But one thing I think that needs to stop as far as that whole controversy is hounding the Mojang employees. I've seen a lot of that all over the socials. That really, in my opinion, needs to stop.
Yeah, look, I think that's completely unacceptable. Look, the only thing I want to say on it, and a couple of people in my previous live streams have touched on it, and it's like, well, I'm not touching that conversation with a 10-foot pole,
right?
Because it is so controversial, and there's no grey here. Like, you're either one side or the other with it. It seems, but that you are right. The one thing that has got to stop is the community going after the developers. You know. We said when we did our review, when I think it was the last live recording that we did, when we went over 119 in total, you know, the amount of backlash and pushback that the community was from certain vocal minorities, let's just say that, vocal minorities that were pushing back onto the developers then. You know, you saw some of the developers, they announced that they were moving on to other companies and getting away from it. You know, and then you noticed as well, on top of this, you know, we can see probably they're going to start closing ranks a lot more. Now, I understand this is a controversial topic and people feel like they got having their freedoms taken away and all that hoo-ha. But, you know, the only thing I want to say is really there is probably a legality reason that they need to implement something into the Java multiplayer. It's not something they've probably just woken up one day and gone, hey, this is probably a good idea. You know, companies have a duty of care that if they've got a way that things can be done that can't be monitored or easily kept in check, there are legalities involved around that. And it will be all around that. No one's trying to take your freedoms away. It's just, that's the reality of life that we live in at the moment. You know, and I don't want to get into my thoughts on it. Like, I'm not going to, but people just need to be aware is A, lay off the developers with the personal attacks that they're getting, and B, there's probably legalities and legal reasons why they need to be doing something like this. So let's just have some common sense for a minute.
Right. So that's really all we're going to discuss on that subject until, you know, it gets all resolved. There's we've seen 1.19.1 come and .2, and we'll probably see more as things go on. But today we're going to talk about bugs and glitches, not the Dracolis glitches, just the ones we've seen throughout the years in Minecraft. And then maybe if we have time, we'll get into things that we'd like to see added to vanilla Minecraft.
And what we can add in here, because we are live and we've both got our chats. You're on YouTube, I'm on Twitch. You know, if you guys want to be involved in the conversation or make a comment on anything that we are saying, please write into chat. Or if you feel like actually joining us for a conversation, you head across to our Discord. You'll see the live stream waiting room. You just basically hop in there, pop your name in, and when an opening comes through, we can actually bring you into the conversation. So we would love to have chats with some of you guys if you've got thoughts out there. So yeah, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Sweeney, we're gonna just back the truck up a little bit. Sweeney just made a comment here about what you were just saying. Most people state that it's Microsoft enforcing this specific change, more so than Mojang. Also, watching the last Minecraft Secrets episode, there is a creative outcry from the episode that one can read more into. How close this is to true, don't know. Yeah, I've seen that. I've heard that. I've also seen statements from other people saying, "Oh, it's a Mojang-driven thing," and this is why we don't want to get into it, to be honest.
Right.
Because you don't know the truth. No one knows the truth. No one knows the specifics of it. Other than the only thing that I'm prepared to publicly say is lay off the developers. It's like you don't need to personally attack them about stuff, anything at all. And two is there's probably legalities involved that dictate that a company such as Mojang with a game like Minecraft have to address that.
Right.
So, yeah. That's pretty much where we're going to leave that topic.
Right.
So, yeah.
But as far as the Discord chat, the voice chat, we're in the community group voice chat. So Bearded Boss Alex, if you are watching, this is the perfect, you can join, you know, this live stream recording, this podcast recording, if you wish.
Exactly. You know, we're just recording we were doing one with Magpie, we were recording away, and next minute, in comes Bearded Boss Alex. Hello. It's like, hi, we're recording. Oh. So, yes. Welcome in, Doylan. Good to see you, my friend.
So let's get into it. I mean, Bugs. Hey, Ree.
So, hello, Ree.
She's in chat.
Elaney.
Awesome.
Hello.
Awesome. More coffee coming soon. Sorry. Squirrel. So, I don't know where to start on this. Bugs and glitches.
Bugs and glitches.
They're kind of synonymous. Let's start with this. Let's start out with the lighthearted one.
Okie dokie.
I knew about, but I don't know everybody knows about the creeper. Does everybody know that was a bug?
Let's just, before I knew this one. Let's open it up to chat. really quickly, does anyone know how the creeper came to be into Minecraft?
Yes.
Then we hear crickets. That's actually, it was an interesting, when I think I learnt that about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one. Eleni said, yep. Don't say anything just yet. Let's see if just say yes or type Y if you know. Aaron said, yep. Doylan said yes. Well, everyone knows it, minus. So you may as well spill it. Enzyme.
Yeah,
there we go. He has to go and
spill
it. Yeah, he spilled it.
See, I just learned this. Maybe about the same time as you, but I mean just simple things like that. Bugs and glitches sometimes become features, and you know, I love creepers. I mean, they're used for so many things, so I'm glad they kept that in.
You like creepers because they provide you with boom boom powder.
Boom booms. Yes.
Boom boom powder. Yep.
Yeah. Quasi connectivity. Yep. We'll get into that one. So how do you want to handle this? Do you want to get into the heavy bugs and glitches, or one glitch? Okay. Let's just start off with this. This is an easy one. An annoying bug, which they keep saying they're fixing, but I find it update after update after update is the boat glitch. Trying to get out of a boat. I don't understand why. I'm sure it's on the bug tracker many times, and I thought they had it fixed, but it is still, to this day, I have problems getting out of boats. I mean,
occasionally I still get it, yeah. And it seems to be more often when you're still moving and you go to get out as the boat is still moving, you'll get into that
that makes
thing.
Sense.
Yeah, and yeah, it's annoying. It's very annoying, particularly when you're in hardcore. It happened to me a couple of weeks ago, or last week, when I was doing hardcore live stream on DTG Family Gaming, and night was falling. I'm trying to get into a bed, and I can't because I'm stuck on the shore trying to get in and out of this boat. And it's one I would like to see fixed. But let's just back up again for a minute. Aaron's asked, what is that?
Quasi connectivity?
Yes.
Okay, let's go over that one next.
I'm going to leave that one up to you because you're the redstone man.
Quasi connectivity is something you only see in Java Minecraft. It doesn't work the same way in Bedrock. I forget what the other one's called because I don't play it really. But quasi connectivity is really it will like power adjacent blocks. I don't know the best way to describe this. Maybe someone in chat could help us out. I know I was watching a video by Skip the Tutorial, and he was explaining it. Basically, if you have a bunch of pistons together, and you put like 3 pistons in a row, and you put a redstone block, it's going to power all of them. It'll power adjacent blocks. Yes.
Which was not an intended feature.
Right.
But, you know, I saw that same video, and Skip the Tutorial actually made a really interesting statement at that part about quasi-connectivity. And he has said that it was unintentional, and hang on a sec. Oh yeah, so it's an unintentional glitch, right? And it's an unintentional glitch, and it can be proved, and I'm paraphrasing here, it can be proved that it's an unintentional glitch because it appears in Java, not Bedrock. Now, I want to pin that comment for later.
Right.
Yeah. So he claimed that it was, yes, I just want to ram this point home right now because it was an unintended feature that you can prove is a glitch because it's in Java, not Bedrock.
Right. And see, that's why I'm just going to touch on this. A lot of your technical Minecrafters, and many of the things we will talk about today affect the technical Minecraft community, and that's why they play Java versus Bedrock, because Redstone is slightly different. They exploit certain things on Java, things that were left in. So
well, that actually is a nice little segue into a topic I would like to sort of touch on with this is, at what point is it exploiting the game or exploiting an exploit to having it be a feature? Like, where's the line there?
I think from what I've seen is when it turns into something to where, you know, you have infinite, or it seems overpowered in a way. But that's still not true, because there are things that seem overpowered that you can exploit. I don't know. We'll get into more. Like one thing that I saw that I used, yeah, I was guilty of using it, that was patched out. The community found that you could zero tick certain things, and you could get growth of, what was it, sugarcane and bamboo faster by using a falling sand glitch.
Yeah, zero tick farms.
It's called zero tick farms. So that was patched out. You know, Mojang saw that was just something that was a little too much, a little too overpowered.
Aaron just said stairs at most resource farms, to me anyway. Are you saying that all resource farms are exploits, Aaron? Because that'd be an interesting point of view.
Right.
And that's actually an interesting point, because assuming that I'm reading and understanding what he's meaning there, because it is actually possible to play Minecraft and not mine.
Right.
Like, you look at my hardcore world that I'm doing on Twitch here, on live streams. I don't intend to go mining for quite some time, and by the time I go mining, I'll be diamond gear. I'll be enchanted diamond gear, and I don't need to go underground once. So, is that exploiting things like the villagers? I don't know whether it is, because I'm using intended features.
Right. Yeah.
Aaron's clarified somewhat, but it feels like an exploit of an exploit rather than exploiting a glitch. So maybe I would phrase it exploiting a feature instead of a glitch.
Right. Yeah. See, that's where it's really a gray area, because you have two sides. You have a technical community, and then you have, I'm just going to call them more, you know, vanilla players. You know, they just want a pure game, that feel that, you know, that those things may seem cheaty. So let's get into, I mean, unless chat has one that they want to discuss. The quasi connectivity was really good. Crack, I see him in your chat.
That's Cubsy. Hello, Cubsy.
Oh,
nice to know you're alive. That's Cubsy. That's the Cubsy of the blind variety. So welcome in, Mr. Cubsy.
His alt account.
Yeah. Aaron just said, because redstone was intentional, but it's capable of maybe not so much. I think that there's a topic. There's probably a different, like a different line that we can probably split here. Are things overpowered? I think villages are highly overpowered, and they're always my starting strategy. I will go for a village and set up a villager trading hall because it'll give me most things that I need. Are villages overpowered? Yes. Are iron farms overpowered? Yes. Are other farms overpowered? Yes. At what point do they become, do you exploit a usable feature? Don't know. It's a good point. It's a good question. Are they game breaking? I would actually argue that the way the villages are at the moment does actually break Minecraft, because the idea is to mine craft, and villages take a lot of that out of it. So I would argue they probably need a rework. You know, then you got the iron farm. The other question there is that actually ethical? Because you are designing a farm to give birth to a sentient creature only to go straight to its death. We'll do it. But when you think about it, it's like, really? You know? Yeah. It's not sort of the glitch conversation or that line that we were going on tonight, but maybe, and I know Sweeney, if Sweeney's still around, you know, that's something that he's big on, is like ethical farms. Right. So, like sheep farms, not having a sheep in each individual container to generate its thing. You know, have free roaming, free range sheep. And he's designed a farm there that can do that and puts out just as much as a normal farm, which is really good. So probably a conversation, maybe in a topic for a future podcast, maybe. Right. But yeah, it's not a glitch as such. That's exploiting an overpowered mechanic, I guess. No. And welcome back, Cubsy, in your traditional form. His true form.
His true form.
Mm. He has come out of his cocoon and has flowered into this wonderful butterfly known as Cubsy.
I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I apologize. I went on a very wild tangent then trying to bring it back. I apologize.
No, I'll bring it back, and as it's been said in your chat, is a lot of it's to do with redstone. And again, there's also the two sides of Java and Bedrock. You know, there are people on Bedrock that want parity. They want some of the things like quasi connectivity in Bedrock. But on the same note, Bedrock has movable tile entities. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically you can attach a sticky piston to a chest or a hopper or something that has items in it and move it. You can't do that in Java. So, I mean, would parity be a good thing, or should you just keep Java the way it is and Bedrock the way it is as far as redstone goes? Because when you're building a farm in either platform, you've got to use different mechanics because spawning mechanics are different. So,
well, that's the question: is can actually redstone function the same way between the two ways that games are coded? Like, I know on the surface it's the same game, but underneath it's definitely not. So, can it function the same way? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I can't answer that. I like doing that in these podcasts, asking questions I can't answer.
Yeah.
Reese just said here, putting your ethical feelings to a game is human, as well as being human not to care. Meh, just choose and let others be. And that's a great concept as well.
Right.
And it all comes back to end of the day. And I have a feeling this is where we're going to end up at the very end of this discussion. Play Minecraft how you want to play Minecraft. There's no right way. Sorry, I got a bug. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. It is Minecraft. So play it as you see fit. But yeah, it can be good, though, to have the conversations like we're having here about like deep diving some of these things and going,
Enzyme,
what do we think?
We're in voice chat in the community group voice chat. If you want to jump in, I'm not sure.
Well, just jump in if you want. If anyone does want to jump in to have a chat, just go to the waiting room and just type your name in there. And when we got an opening that sort of appears, I'll tell you to join the chat group or the chat room.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it. Just do it.
So let's get into a slightly heavier bug, glitch, whatever you want to call it. Because there
Is this one I need to get prepared for?
No,
Is this the one?
maybe
No?
maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
not. Maybe
okay.
not. Maybe not.
Okay. I'll relax.
Duping. Now there are things that I feel, this is my personal opinion, things that I feel that shouldn't be duped. Rails, carpet, sand and concrete into the end. Things like that, to where you're getting a lot of resources that way for free. I mean, it's very, very low effort type thing. Now, if you look up here, I'm trying to point to TNT, my favorite thing, Tnt Duping. However, I think for what you're trying to accomplish with TNT, especially if you're trying to do a perimeter or excavate a large area, Tnt duping, in my opinion, there's more effort involved because you have to build the flying machines or the dupers. If you don't do it properly, it'll blow up. So there's more involved, especially if you're doing a huge perimeter, which one day I want to do on InterRealms. I want to take a large piece of land and just demolish it. I planned on doing it in season 2, but just ran out of time. So I want to know the duplication glitch, how people feel about duplication, specifically TNT.
Well, while we wait for chat to sort of get engaged with that, let me ask you, Miner, right? I don't have a strong feeling on the TNT thing really either way. I know there's ones like Tango and Impulse do. They do not do it at all. Like, they're dead against it. They think it should not be in the game. And I understand that point of view. How do you justify, Miner, this is purely for you, how do you justify allowing one form of duplication over another form of duplication without saying, oh, because it's just harder to get TNT, therefore it's okay to duplicate? Take that argument off the table. How do you, because at the end of the day, duplication is duplication.
Right.
How do you justify being TNT's all good to duplicating diamonds being all bad? And while you're thinking of an answer to that, hello, Ian, Laney, I don't know, Slick, Lick, I don't know what to call you. Hello, welcome in. Welcome to tonight we're doing a podcast, a bit different for us. Regulars, make this new person feel welcome. And hopefully you are enjoying the stream. Hello, welcome in, Master Swirl. Good to see you. And Enzyme, I've seen that you're in the waiting room, so we will look to bring you in very shortly.
Nice.
So, sorry, Miner, back to you.
Well, duplication of rails or sand or concrete. You're taking like a stack and then doubling it. A stack of sand, and by dropping it into the end portal, you're doubling it. With TNT duplication, you're taking one piece of TNT, and well, I guess that's the same thing. So I guess I have no argument. I don't know. I mean, you're taking, if you're duplicating rails, you're taking one rail and making many rails. So
taking one TNT and making many TNT.
True.
Now this is, and the reason I asked that is because this sort of shows, going back to what Ree said, you know, you can do things either way. And a personal thing where you have that line in the sand, it's, I can understand why people like Impulse and Tango Tech say it shouldn't be in the game. I completely understand that. And if I had to fall on a side, if I had to pick a side, I would probably fall on their side. Have I used TNT duplication? Yes. Will I continue to use it? Yes. Why? Because I'm lazy. Oh, well, and on the InterRealms server, I refuse to pay Cubsy's prices for gunpowder. So,
yes.
TNT duping.
Greedy king.
Greedy king. Resistance. Sorry. Cough. So, yeah, I it's hard to justify it, really, isn't it? What's right and what's wrong when it comes to duplication.
Right. From the technical community, I mean, if they patch that out, I mean, it was kind of like the same thing with the no blocks. You know how they wanted to change that only wool could silence note blocks. The technical community spoke up and asked for it to be reverted, and they listened. So I think with certain bugs, glitches, whatnot, Mojang tries to listen to the community, all sides, technical, you know, and maybe the more pure vanilla players, and find a balance. You know, you can't please everybody, but if they feel that it's unbalanced, then yeah, they'll patch it out. But if it's something that they can justify, they'll leave it in.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, you see how many people fired up about the removal on Bedrock of the XP glitch exploit. You know, you imagine if they took out TNT duplication. Oh.
Right.
Boom powder. That would go off.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one right there that I felt strongly against. And I don't play Bedrock. I don't really play Bedrock. I mean, there are ways to get XP, and the furnace XP glitch on Bedrock was, in my opinion, way too overpowered. Real quickly, Leandro Blockman, if this is your first time here, hello. How are you doing? We're doing a podcast recording talking about bugs and glitches in Minecraft. Thank you for joining in.
And I'll just talk here to Laney while we take this little brief moment. And we'll probably bring Enzyme in because he wants to talk about duping. So we'll bring him in after this little hello to people. Laney, welcome in. So if this is your first time here, so usually I'd be playing Minecraft or another game or something like that. We're part of the InterRealms SMP server, and I'm just going to drop the Discord link there if you want to find out some more about it. And we do a weekly podcast, and one of the segments on that podcast is Minecraft Lab, where Minor Thoughts and myself, we sort of deep dive different bits and pieces about Minecraft. We have a chit chat, and tonight we're talking about bugs, glitches, exploits, those sort of things. And once a month we do it live. I'm on Twitch. Mine is over on his YouTube channel at the moment. So yeah, we're having that. Feel free to get involved in the conversation, Laney. If you're enjoying yourself, feel free to hit that follow button, and yeah, hopefully see you around some more. But yeah, you're welcome to join the conversation if you want to say anything or make a comment on anything we're talking about, or you've got a particular thought. Feel free to bang it in. I'll read it out for the podcast, and you'll appear on the podcast. Oh, sorry. Or like Enzyme's about to be, you can actually do a call in. You join the Discord server, and there's a waiting room there. So if you want to actually have a chat to us, you're welcome to as well.
Yep.
Yeah, totally up to you. But regulars that are here, feel free to make Laney very welcome, please, and welcome in. And hello to your new person too.
Yes,
Leandro Blockman. Go. Sup. Shall we bring Enzyme in?
Yeah, great. Yes, let's do it.
All right, Enzyme, jump on into the community group voice chat. Well, thank you, Laney. You enjoy that pig show, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you soon.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Hello, Enzyme.
Oh, hey.
Obviously, it's family friendly.
I gotta turn down the stream volume quick.
Swirl made me say that.
Hearing an echo.
Yeah, you can't have the stream up while you're talking because you will get that echo.
Yes, buddy. Yeah. Still kind of salty about the last one, not inviting me about the SMP podcast chat, but we live
anyway. But welcome in, sir. Yeah. Welcome in.
Yeah.
First appearance here on the podcast, and what would you like to discuss?
Well, you were talking about the redstone and the duping, and you saying that it silver lined, saying that no and yes. Well, I'm someone that used to was brought up on console and all that stuff until I converted to Java Superior. Joking.
Let's console that can of worms.
Yeah, that's a different one. Console, mainly Bedrock, has always had bugs, and especially duping bugs, which I've been someone that, a lot of my friends like to say, you're not... They like to think I'm an unethical player, because when it comes to duping, I like to dupe for the grindy type of stuff. Like, it depends when it comes to what type of duper you are. Like, if you're the duper that my friend basically is, just dupe the diamonds, and all that stuff. The point that I consider as allowed for duping is not duping the destination, but duping the journey. So, for example, dupe a bunch of iron shovels to dig out the sand to make concrete, or, if you want to actually dupe the concrete and the gravel to make concrete powder, to be exact. But a lot of people, when it comes to duping, they just see, the full marks are 100%, go straight for the gold and all that stuff. But if you're the type of duper that goes for like the middle ground type of level, I don't see duping as a problem. And a lot of people would be like, that's just being lazy then. At that same time, being lazy, yeah, but so are a bunch of the farms. What's the difference between duping the iron shovels and trading them with a villager?
Well, I guess for me, my take on that was, if you're going to go and buy iron shovels from a villager, you've had to do prep work to get there. So you've gone and you've got the villager, and you've maybe converted them, I don't know, but you've found a village, you've made the crafting, the workbench, you put the workbench there, you converted him, you traded him up to shovels. You've gone and done the hard work to go and get enough resources to be able to keep trading for emeralds. You've gone through the process to get that. Talking about iron farms to me, as I said in the start, are overpowered for what they can do. But again, you've gone to the hard work of building an iron farm to be able to generate it. So there's a difference I personally have between a farm and duping. Yes, you're probably right at the same point, but arguably I've gone to the way the game's intended to be played to an extent to get the stuff, as opposed to just duping an iron shovel. Right. Minor, what do you think?
Kind of the effort involved. If it's from what I've seen, that things that have been patched out or fixed, if there's very, very little effort involved in getting those resources, then yeah, that's an exploit. That's something that may get eventually patched out, and Mojang might see that that's just not in the spirit of the game. So they will, with the things like iron farms, things that you have to put in some effort to get those resources, curing villagers, trading them up, getting the emeralds, those things will stay in. It might be a bug or a glitch, but if it takes some effort to do that, I've seen those things stay in.
Which is understandable, or which I can also acknowledge that, because I don't dupe a lot of the time nowadays, especially since I've converted over to Java, because, well, I don't know any. But when it comes to like the grind that people like to say is that's what makes the difference and all that stuff, then that comes to the point where, okay, what about for the lazy players that things that, and like you said, Troj, it's because some people play the actual way or that stuff. I'd like to bring to that topic that I don't think anyone actually plays the actual way. And when I say the actual way, I mean the way that Mojang intended it to be played by their books, where step one is you build up a dirt pillar.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Like we all, and Bree beat me to it. It's back to the humanity part. People are choosing where it's okay to dupe based on their feelings, and that's where I think ultimately this whole conversation tonight is going to end up. It's where you as an individual draw the line, and Enzyme made a good point there. Is like no one is probably playing the game as as is intended, so to speak. Like I'm sure no one intended when they invented iron golems and when they die to drop iron, someone's going to go, hey, we're going to harvest these poor creatures and harvest we're going to get them to drop their bits and then we're going to profit from it. That probably wasn't even thought of at the time, So by having iron farms, we're probably not playing to that level either. But I think there's a point that you take it too far, like the X-ray mod as an example, right?
Yeah, that is too far, I have to say.
That is too far. And, some of the stuff that Doc M does, I enjoy I wish he'd edit down his content to be smaller
over like an hour. It's like watching a stream.
But what he does is brilliant. But some stuff he does, I sit there and go, but you're not in the... There's a terminology in sport called in the spirit of the game. And some of the stuff that he does is not in the spirit of the game. Duping diamonds, especially when you're on a server that uses currency as diamonds, duping it, that's not in the spirit of the game. But again, it's a subjective thing, isn't it? Where do you draw the line of what is acceptable under the spirit of the game and what's not? And again, as Ree has said, and every conversation comes down to your personal feelings. And I'll just read something Swirl said. Now, I haven't pre-read what Swirl said. I'm just going to dive into it, so heaven help me. I think the difference is there are clear in-game built-in mechanics that can be exploited. Example, iron farms, ocean monument, guardian farms, mob farms that are intended to be used as compared to glitches, like breaking bedrock, thank you, or duping that are obviously not intended. If Mojang didn't intend for iron farms to be a thing, they would have long patched it by now. And that, I think, comes back to what we were saying before, Swirl, about... and welcome in and thank you for your comment there, by the way. You have sometimes things that become unintended that they go, actually, we're just going to go with it, going to go as a feature. And one of these things is actually, as an example of that, is sand and gravel. So they should be affected by gravity. You can find worlds that aren't until you update the blocks, then they all fall. Now, Mojang could have very easily have patched that out, but they didn't. They turned around and said, actually, this is a feature, this is a trap, this is a sand trap. And what gives it away is you can see those falling particles. And so they turned an unintended an unintended glitch into a feature. Now, it's probably to save them time. They didn't have to go and touch into the code, but it is what it is. So I think you get that sometimes is like with the iron farms. It's not an intended thing. Yes, they could have patched it out, but they haven't, and now it's a thing. You could probably make an argument that for I don't know. Can you TNT dupe on Bedrock? I don't know.
Well, the redstone on Bedrock isn't really the same. Well, once upon a time, back on Legacy Edition of console, the redstone was the same, but the Tnt Duping thing wasn't really much of a thing back then. So, but now on Bedrock, I don't think anyone would be able to do it unless there's a way that I am very, what's the word I'm looking for? Uneducated about Bedrock these days. I do see a lot of information come up that I just look over, but since I've converted to Java, I don't really keep up with much of Bedrock because, like, I can understand it's the same game, but it's a completely different sandbox. One's made, well, for Bedrock, and a lot of people Microsoft, they're the problem for that. But considering they're two different sandboxes, they're two different coding, and not just two different coding, that also goes to say that they've got two different dev teams. Java's dev team actually cares for the Java one, unlike not Mojang.
Well, just be careful where you're going with that. Just careful where you're going with that one.
It's been shown multiple times that Bedrock's dev team doesn't really care for it, which brings to the YouTube content creators, the majority of them are Java players. That's why
that is actually swinging now. I'm noticing that is actually very much on the swing.
I've seen, especially in the Facebook groups, and not a lot of people say it, but I start talking to people in Facebook groups, and they're like, the majority of them are Bedrock players. I think the more casual players, maybe the more, like I said, the more pure vanilla players, you'll see on Bedrock. When it gets to the technical community, modded community, and things like that, you'll see more of that on Java. So I'd like to go back real quick. Some of the comments that were made. Basically, if it's your single player world, you do you. It's your world. You play the way you want to. When you get to like an SMP or playing with a group, you kind of have to have a majority agreement on how Minecraft should be played. Things that are allowed or not allowed, duping, and I kind of want to segue into the next subject because Swirl brought it up.
Well, before you do, I want to touch on one thing that you can segue into it nicely, but the Swirl's just gone there. Yeah, but the particles were added later in terms of the falling gravel and that.
Right.
Exactly right. They added the particles in after the fact, so that then turned that glitch into a feature. Right. So they added it in. So if I'm looking at this right, it was an unintended glitch that they weren't falling until they were updated. So until they went instead of fixing it, so to speak, they just went, we're turning it into a feature. So they added the particles at that point to make it a feature and to stand out to the player.
Which I've been seeing that a lot lately with a lot of their features that they do, where it turns out to be glitches or bugs, and then it's like, yeah, we'll just turn it into the game instead of actually just getting rid of it, because I feel like it gets to the point where people get used to it, where they go, okay, well, how can you live without it type of things. But that's a whole different thingy for Mojang to decide, which I'd like to know why they would like just, instead of just completely box it and scrap it, where they'd just be like, you know what, let's actually give the players what they want and have them actually have, well, cheerio, happy days.
Right. And I think
I guess they have their vision for where they want the game to end up at some point. So I guess that would sort of be what it is.
Right. And if I can remember my short attention span, there's something on that I want to bring up later as far as things we'd like to see in future Minecraft. But real quickly, I'm reading through your chat. Doc M77 is talking. Me personally, I love what he's doing. He's trying to do. He's going full technical this season, and I love it. Yeah, I skipped through a lot of the talking to get to the juicy stuff, and he's finding these things. He's finding these things in the game that maybe are exploits or bugs or whatever, and some of it Mojang's looking at and saying, "Sorry, Doc, we're going to patch that out." You know, as far as update suppressors, things like that, and then you know the whole X-ray thing. You know how free cam, which is basically the same thing. A lot of people are using that, and it's one of those things, those mods where you know, if you're using it, it's kind of, you really can't. I mean, unless they're exposed, you really can't see the diamond ore like you can with a mod that's actually going to show X-ray and show things. But I'd like to, Swirl touched on it. I'd like to segue into one of my
Bedrock.
Well, okay. Bedrock.
Before we jump into that, Enzyme, thank you for joining us for a chat about the duping. Much appreciated. You're welcome to come back another time for another chat. And thank you very much for your listening, your viewing, and your support.
All right. Nice having me.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
And, you know, if anyone else would like to come on for a chat, feel free. We only try for one at a time because I don't think we could handle more than one at a time at the moment. So, yeah, if anyone wants to have a chat about anything, feel free to jump on the Discord and jump into the waiting room.
Right.
Sorry, Miner, it's all yours.
Okay, so Master Swirl touched on breaking Bedrock. Now, yes, I've done it. Do I think it's necessary? No. And we'll get into that, which is a whole separate glitch, a whole separate thing that is a, how do I put this? A point of contention between the Trojan Eye.
It's becoming an ongoing gag now.
The reason for breaking Bedrock. Now, do I think Bedrock breaking is necessary? No, and I'll explain why. It's a glitch, and there's a pretty reliable way to do it with TNT, a trapdoor. It's fairly easy. It used to be a lot harder to do, and in previous versions of Minecraft, you could do it with dragon eggs. I don't believe that's possible to do anymore. So people would make Ender Dragon farms just to get the eggs and use them in machines to break large areas of bedrock. But it's really, you can live without it because on Java you can get on the Nether roof and be up there and build without ever having to break bedrock. Because, and you can go in, I'm not sure exactly where it is, there was a change in 1.15 that allowed synchronization of portals to the Nether roof. They changed the way portals could be synchronized. Now that was something that Mojang intended, to be able to synchronize portals, and it's even in the patch notes. You can synchronize portals to the Nether roof. Now, I feel that building on the Nether roof is fine, because it's an intended thing from Mojang. It's something that I left in. It's something that the technical community has embraced and used. Yeah, some farms are high output, low effort, but you still there is some effort involved in doing it, and you don't have to break bedrock to be up there. So I'll just let you vent.
I've been waiting for this topic.
Go ahead and vent away because this is a podcast subject that we have been is one of the ones we've been planning for a while because we both have such strong feelings against the Nether roof. And I believe we could both agree on breaking bedrock. That's something that's not is unnecessary, but we differ in opinion on the Nether roof.
All right, so my thought is that yes, breaking bedrock is unintended and should not be allowed. It should be unbreakable. I think being able to access the roof by throwing an ender pearl through a crack, basically, is an exploit and shouldn't be intended. But I think
that's not the only way you can get up.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, for argument's sake, that one.
Right, yeah, that's the most common.
Now, they added in the ability to link portals on the roof, so you can have a portal on the roof. Now, I believe that was there, so in case people get themselves stuck, they can get off the roof. Because how many times would you have had people accidentally get onto the roof by a bad throw of an ender pearl and go, oh poop, my world is now no good because I got no way to get back? I think that the reason they made that happen to fix that problem was allow people to build a portal on the roof so they could get off the roof. Now, I assume we're now moving into should we be doing things on the roof or not? Is that where we're headed?
I mean, yeah. I mean, to back up a little bit. I mean, I have to agree with you. That's a glitch, a bug, whatever. I'm sure it's on the tracker that there are situations where you throw an ender pearl where if you throw it in the wrong spot, even in the overworld, you start suffocating and you could die.
I did that on the live stream weekend. I was the first one to die on that whole 24-hour stretch. 20 hours in. Bad throw of an ender pearl and into a wall and dead. So yeah, it's not a good one.
But I mean, see, the being on the Nether roof is only a Java thing. You can get on the Nether roof in Bedrock, same way basically, but you cannot build there. If I could get confirmation from Mojang, it would be so awesome.
Well, Aaron's asked a question.
Justified.
Aaron's asked a question here that I know that Master Swirl and Enzyme have made a comment. I'm just going to jump to Aaron's first though. Is there anything that people do on the roof that couldn't be done under it? Minor. You tell me, what is the purpose of building farms on the roof?
Because, and one of I'm a fanboy of ENX04. A lot of it has to do with spawning mechanics. When you build on the Nether roof, because you can build above the bedrock floor, you can change the way spawning works. The higher you go, depending on how you build a farm, will affect the rates. Yes, you can build under the roof, and I tried doing a ghast farm on InterRealms Season 1 because as a group we had decided building on the Nether roof, no go. That was, you know, early in InterRealms, and at that point we decided we're not going to build on the Nether roof. Now, what's required for building under the roof, as far as a farm, say like a gas farm or a gold farm or anything like that, there's so much spawn proofing. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it? I mean, what's the trade-off?
Okay, so in short, is the purpose? Is this a fair statement to make? Is the purpose of building a farm on the Nether roof to make a farm more efficient?
Yes, efficiency.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Bear with me.
Okay.
All right. Bear with me. Okay. So the point is to make a farm more efficient. Should breaking bedrock be allowed?
It's not needed. It's really not needed.
I know it's not needed, but hang on. Is breaking bedrock yay or nay? Based on what you said previous.
It's two different subjects, though.
No, it's not. Your Honor, objection, hearsay. we will come back. I will bring it all together, Your Honor. I'm just asking for a little bit of leeway. I will bring it together.
Right.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So just to recap, so building the farms on the roof is to make them more efficient. Yes?
Yes.
You should not be allowed to break bedrock, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Therefore, as Master Swirl has said, this is why I didn't say it before. I'm leaving it to now, and that's tied in. I think the bedrock thing is like this. It's like when you find in other games a gap in the map and go outside the map area. Clearly wrong. So, is the intention of bedrock to form the boundaries of the playable world? If you're not allowed to break the bedrock, is it a fair comment to say that the bedrock is the intended limit of the world?
Well, I think it was mentioned earlier in your chat that if it wasn't intended, it would have been patched a long time ago.
Yes, but it also comes back to that comment that you agreed with as well earlier that said that it was an unintentional feature and it was proved to be an unintended glitch because it appears in Java and not Bedrock.
Right.
So if it's an intended thing that people can get up there and exploit, why don't they just introduce that to Bedrock version of the game?
Right. Well, there are people in the Bedrock community that's, they want parity.
It doesn't matter what people want, though. Mojang's not doing it. They're not doing it. So does that not imply, by all of this line that we've got to here, that if it was an intended feature and it was acting as intended, that it would be on Bedrock? That they would just make it happen on Bedrock?
Well, like Enzan said, you've got two different dev teams, and they may have the same arguments that you and I are having now.
Yeah, true.
So,
but Minecraft are looking,
and they're
looking for parity. Remember,
right? But and they're dealing with two different communities. You have divided communities, Bedrock and Java, and each of them think they are the true and proper version of Minecraft. It's a divided gap between those two sometimes, and it may be the same way in the dev teams. If you go changing things on Java to match Bedrock, then you will have a I mean, you think you have communities in an uproar now because of changes? The technical community, I don't want to say that they're the Mojang. I think Mojang is trying to listen. They're trying to listen. For the longest time, they've tried to listen to the communities, and you've got a huge technical community that if they made changes, and it goes back to like the no block things, making changes. There was a group of technical players that said, "Hey, this change is unnecessary." So, I mean,
I think the argument that they don't want to upset the technical community is right to a degree. I think they will never. I think the reason they will not remove it from the game is because there's too many long-term worlds that would be impacted by them suddenly saying, "Sorry, the build limit is not. You can't basically. It's the build limit height on the 2 that stops the building. Like the Bedrock, you can get on Bedrock, you can get onto the Nether roof, but you can't build because the build height doesn't allow it. On Java, that's completely different. Now, the thing is, though, right, in the start of this podcast, you actually said that duplicating for the cause, basically, to get more items is wrong. So, by going into an area that's not intended to get to, and then building in that area for a farm that generates more due to better efficiency by being outside of the normal intended playable area, how do you justify the two differences of stance between those two things?
Yeah, on that note, one noted glitch. Really quickly, I've got someone in my chat, Olive. Hello. You've popped into a podcast recording of Minecraft Lab. Sorry, Minecraft Lab. It's something we do every so often live, and this will become a podcast episode for the official InterRealms podcast. So welcome.
And with you, well, we're taking this short commercial break. And hello to Cricket. You are not late. Well, you are late, but we are still right into it. We've moved on to debating about building on the Nether roof, which Miner and I love to do on a regular basis. Right. Now, and I just want it for those that have come in. And Vi, I did see that you made a comment there before. I want to touch on that one as well, but I'm leaving it a little bit later in the conversation. So, no, Enzyme, I don't agree with that comment, but I'll come back to it when we restart this. One thing I just want to make out, obviously, both Miner and I are being animated in this discussion because our opinions are really counter on this one. Mm-hmm. But because we're getting animated, don't think we're actually fighting. We're just debating. We've done this 1,000 times, you know, and I've been right 1,000 times, and he's been wrong 1,000 times. So we're used to this. So don't think that we're getting into it. We're not. This is just us having fun. So, and if you guys want to get in on it, feel free. Join the waiting room.
Mojang disagrees with you, but that's beside the point.
But do they, Miner? Do they? As Swell said, the Java people know right.
I've got text proof that Mojang disagrees with you.
Oh, really? Really?
Yep.
Thank you for the bits there, Cricket. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Obviously, I've got all the alerts and that off tonight because we are doing a live recording for the podcast, and it wouldn't be appropriate for the middle of the podcast for me to do a wiggle. So, you know, all the alerts and everything are off tonight. And there will be no Princess Bunny Troj appearances tonight either. Even though it is sitting right here beside me, there'll be no Princess Bunny Troj tonight. But anyway,
while
back
we
to
are
the
on
conversation. Yeah.
while we are on the Nether roof, one change that's coming down the pike, that the technical community is worried about, but I think, again, Mojang's trying to find balance, is some of the farms you can build on the roof. One of them being a gold farm. They're going to change the way zombie pigment aggro, and that's something that is a bug. It's a glitch. That's one of the things that went over in Skip the Tutorials video on bugs and glitches, is when you aggro one zombie pigman, you're gaining XP from other zombie pigmen, even though you're not killing them. So they've talked about a change on the way that works, which there's other ways to get XP, and I don't know if they'll change that. I think you should have to kill the mob to get the XP. So in my opinion, that one's an overpowered XP farm. How does everybody feel about the gold farm? Because that's a change that's going to be coming soon. If it hasn't already.
A couple of comments here that I got. One was from Bearded Boss Alex, and hello in Alex. The large farms, really, so that's sort of touching on what you're talking there with the gold farm, which can be done under the roof. However, doing it on top, so the digging and risk is so minimal. And then Vi's comment before was, if I could find it again, it would be fantastic. And I've lost it in the mix. There it is. On the SMPs, it's easier to make a nether hub and travel between different places on the map. Of course, that could be done under the roof. It's just easier to do it that way. Yes, but I argue that's not an intended way of using that part of the world. And are we saying then that does it being easier justify doing it? Therefore, we could go back to saying, well, it's easier to justify, it's easier to duplicate diamonds, so I'm going to do that. It comes down to that fine line of where you are going to find it right or not. You know, I don't know. Look, I've to be honest, I've loosened my stance on doing stuff on the roof because I have naturally, but I've still got that part of me that goes, this is not the intended way that the game is meant to be played. So I'm a walking contradiction. One thing I wanted to say is that what Enzyme has said, when I think it was about me mentioning about one duplicating for more items and one, what's the difference? He said, well, the difference is one's got more room. You can make more room in the Nether, just don't be so lazy to do it. So I actually for me personally, I don't think the argument he just said there, one's about getting more items, one's about more room. I don't agree with that. It's not about more room, it's about making the farm more efficient. That's why they do it. It's not... Right. You don't build a farm up there because you've got more room. You build a farm up there because it becomes more efficient. Because you build the farm and then you go 200 blocks up, and the farm becomes more efficient. And yes, on my tutorial channel, yes, I have mine as Froglight Farm, which requires you to be on the Nether ceiling and 200 blocks above it, and you're getting 10,000 Froglights an hour from it. So and that farm could be very easily built under the roof, but the rates drop. So
right.
It's not about getting on the roof for space, it's about getting on the roof for efficiency. And that's when it's about more items, and that's where I draw the parallel between that and duplication.
Right.
Cricket is going nuts with the bits. She wanted her third spot back. And hello, Karina. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Regulars, please make Karina feel welcome. Karina, this is obviously it's your first time here. Tonight we're not doing gameplay, which normally I'm playing Minecraft, but tonight I'm doing a live recording for the InterRealms Minecraft Lab podcast. So yeah, please make Karina welcome, and hopefully you can enjoy the chat. If you feel like saying anything, feel free to me to comment. We'll read it out. Or if you do want to, you can head on over to the InterRealms Discord and actually join us on chat. Yes. Sorry, Miner.
Oh, no. Again, I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No. So, I mean, the farms, Nether roof farms, I don't think that that'll be something in Java you'll see go away.
No,
they are making the way things spawn in the Nether. It's a future change. They talked about portal farms, which are fairly easy to build again, but they're going to change the way those work as well in a future update. So people will just have to find. They're trying to find balance without making it too overpowered, and you know, still please the technical community and the other communities that prefer not to go up there. Personally, as far as a Nether hub, I saw Hermitcraft when it was first allowed, when they first discovered that Mojang was going to change the way portals work, and you could link portals, you know, because it was in the patch notes. They decided to go on the Nether roof and kind of make a hub there. But in my opinion, that was very, very ugly, disorganized. I, on the other hand, prefer a Nether hub that's under the roof. You can do a lot more with it. And what I've seen on InterRealms, if you haven't seen, you need to watch some of the videos, some of the live streams, because Season 3's Nether hub is the best yet. And
that's from all three clans. So everyone's done a really great job.
Yeah.
I think with Hermitcraft, though, correct me if I'm wrong, that was in Season 6, I think. And that was because they also knew that the Nether update was coming, so they knew they were going to reset the entire Nether. Because right. I remember when the change come, they all had to go up on the roof and get off what they wanted to keep. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, and then Mumbo Jumbo had the button.
He had the button.
That was the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cubsy, he's back.
Yeah, it did, Alex. So what they had to do is they went up on the roof. They got told, you know, the update was coming. They went up on the roof. They got off their whatever resources they wanted to keep and took them to the overworld before the thing got reset.
Right.
Was it early Season 7? Was it? My bad. I knew it was somewhere in that mix. And welcome back, Cubsy. So yeah, no, there's
So I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree that I'm right.
I didn't say that. I said I'm softening my stance on allowing it, and obviously we had to for Season 3, so I had to soften my stance. But I still believe that it's making an exploit for the sake of more efficient farms. Therefore, it's an exploitable thing that will never leave the game because there would be too much outcry that would be changing.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, it still doesn't make it. To me, it's like you're deliberately going outside of the set intended boundary of the game for the sake of exploiting a mechanic to get more materials than you could normally, which I compare to duplication at the very base level of it.
And the way I feel about it is the level of, yeah, it's more effort to spawn proof. a large spawnable area under the roof. So I don't know. It's a toss up. Some of the farms are fairly easy to build on the roof, but then there's ones that are a little more difficult. But I don't know. I think it's going to be some. It's going to be something that's debated on for a long time.
Yeah, and look, you'll never get to the end of it. And you know, I think what I found was interesting was that the one point of this discussion here, you'll have to watch the VOD back. I actually threw my arms up in like a celebration. I felt like I sort of had you backed into a corner a little bit. One point I was going, I didn't expect that to happen. But Alex said, for me, it's like creating a fourth dimension. And if it's strictly for travel, awesome. That's the only thing I see it good for. It's a non-stop debate for me. Exactly. It is a non-stop. And again, it comes back to everything that we've talked about. And usually this happens with our back and forth, isn't it, Miner? We get to the end of it. Look, at the end of the day, you do you. You play Minecraft how you want to play Minecraft. Where the fun of it for us is actually talking about it and having these conversations. It's a good conversation to have. It's a fun conversation. Right. And, you know, Miner and I have been chomping at the bits. Ever since Minecraft Lab started and Keegan started up InterRealms podcast, this one has been on our to talk about list since day one. I don't even know why we haven't done it yet, but I'm glad we finally got there.
Oh, I'm glad that we decided to do it as a... I'm glad we decided to do these live recordings every so often, because it gets the community involved. It gets you guys involved. And we get, you know, a difference of opinion. You know, it's just not you and I arguing. we can get more people to side with us. You know, or with me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, clearly they were with me tonight. No, we're not going to divide the community like that. Enzyme's just saying, but it comes to something else. So if you want easy playing creative mode, I don't think it's about ease. Well, building a Nether hub up there is about making it easier. Or building a farm up there because you've just got more room is making it easier. I don't know whether the whole thing is about making it easier. The whole thing about building up there is making the farms more efficient. Will the farms work under the roof? Yes, they would. And, you know, the gold farms work under the roof. Green and Iscal have proved that, but they're not, and I think Cub has as well, they're not as efficient though. And that's what it's about, is getting, for me, it's about accessing an area, and I've said this 5 times, it's about accessing an area beyond the intended world limit for the point of exploiting that area to make your farms more efficient. That's what it's all about. I don't like Nether hubs on the ceiling, only because they don't look any good. Yes, and you can argue or you can build stuff on there, but you lose the ambience, you lose the atmosphere. That's my take on it.
Something
Cricket said I make sense, so therefore I win this debate. Thank you and good night. Eleni said the main issue for me isn't even if you should not be able to do it. It's more about Microsoft fixing the parity issues between Java and Bedrock, as you can't do it in Bedrock. And that's sort of something we sort of touched on a bit earlier. Miner brought up, well, you know, you can do it in Java, so giddy up. And it's like, well, I think it shows, based on the conversation we had about quasi-connectivity, I think it shows that if it was meant to be in one, it would be in the other. And the fact that they haven't allowed it on Bedrock says to me that it's not intended. They just can't backtrack on 11 years of worlds now to say, no, you can't do it on Java, because you would break so many people's worlds and long-term worlds. So I don't think you'll ever get that parity unless they turn around. If they ever turn around and say, Bedrock can now build on the Nether roof, I will completely change camp and go over to Miner's side and say we're all good. But while you've got that very clear, no, you can't do it on Bedrock, to me that says it's not an intended feature of the game to be allowed to build on Bedrock, and that's why I stand my ground there. Yes, I've softened my stance for the sake of I've softened my stance, but if it was intended, it would be on Bedrock, and it's not on Bedrock. So that alone tells me conversation over.
Right. Really quick, something that Bearded Boss Alex said, and I want to touch on this just really quickly. There's no nether roof on the job site. Well, of course not. But the reason for the nether roof, let's look at this as from a miner's perspective. In case you didn't know, I am a miner. Had to mention that.
I didn't realize that.
Anyway, when mining first started, you had because of the technology and things, you only had certain things. To drill a hole for the TNT, you had to use a chisel and a hammer. And that's how you drilled a hole. It's very dangerous to do it that way because the guy holding the chisel into the wall, he took the risk of getting his hands hit from the guy swinging the hammer. As time went on, mining got more technology. Now we have things, drills. They've found ways to automate it and make it more efficient. So in Minecraft, the technical community has found ways to make it more efficient. Yeah, there are certain things that they're obviously cheaty, but as it's been said in chat, it's really about efficiency. If you're trying to, if you're in your single player world, you're playing your way. Duplicate, do whatever you want. If you're playing with a group, it's got to be decided on by the group. If you build a farm on the roof, say for a gas farm, and you're doing it to supply the server, so you need tons and tons of gunpowder or whatnot, gold. So you're supplying a server with these items, or trying to make diamonds or whatever. So it's all about efficiency.
And you know what? You'll never get to the bottom of this one. You know, like there's still opinions being thrown around here in my chat there. So like Cricket said, they could easily then add it to Bedrock. Exactly, and that was my point. And the fact that they haven't says to me that it's not what they want to have happen. But they're too far down the road of changing it the other way, so they run with both. And to be honest, it's probably not even on their radar to even look at that, because it's just not on their radar. They've got bigger fish to fry. They don't really care about those sort of things. But the only thing I'll say on Cricket's comment there, she says at the end, if you have to cheat mod to get there, then I'd say it's against the game, against the rules. I would actually argue it is technically cheating to try and get into that area, because you need to use other exploits, glitches to get up there, which is the whole point of this conversation, exploits and glitches. So ultimately, I don't care. Like, obviously, season 1, season 2, we didn't have the access to the nether roof on InterRealms. This season we do, and I live with it. I'm like, whatever, I'm okay with it. And I said I've softened my stance on it because, you know, you can get there, whatever, go for it. And this season, with the way we've got set up with the clans, well, we had to have a gold farm to balance out the other powerful farms that the other 2 clans had. So Caves had to have something that balanced it out, and it only made sense to put the roof farm up there, the gold farm. Mm-hmm. So we opened it up. So I got no problem with that. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, it comes down to, as Ree has been said about 55,000 times, it's down to that individual person and their feelings on the matter. In my personal single-player world, if I was to ever do one, I would not go up there. I wouldn't do it, because that's my choice, and that's how I like to play the game. I see the bedrock is what they intend not to cross. Go it. If you want to go in there, so be it. And mine is exactly right. You know, if you have a server and the server rules say you don't go up on the roof, or you know, the only farms allowed up there are server controlled farms, and that's so, you know, we've got enough to supply the 50 people on the server. Great. Abide by those rules. That's what it comes down to. The world you play on, abide by the rules of that world.
Right.
And Eleni just said that it would be different if you get up through normal means, but you have to glitch yourself through one way or another, which shows you're not really supposed to be there.
Right.
So, but yeah, but again, and as Cricket said before, you know, it's great we can have these conversations, and that's what I've said. Well, both of us have said a couple of times, because we knew we would be, Miner and I, we're not butting heads. We are just having a conversation. We've done this 1,000 times, this conversation, and we're animated for the sake of entertainment and podcast.
Right. Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad we got you guys in chat involved on this one, because
yeah, and it clearly showed I was right.
As Ree would say, you have fun with that.
I did. But you know, it was a good conversation. That
let's before we wrap this up, let's bring it back to the lighter side of things. Just real quickly, you know, for the next couple minutes, like to talk about things we'd like to see change in Minecraft.
Yep.
In particular, I just saw a video. Was it yesterday? Azuma Void put out, and something that the community has been talking about is 1.20 not being an end update or another dimension, and you know, an aether dimension, or you know, a whole new world. It's just have a quality of life update. He put out a video saying that it could be an inventory update. That inventory management is something that's sorely needed in Minecraft, and you know, we could go back to if you've watched the video, a lot of things could be considered cheaty, overpowered. They have mods for these things, some client side, some that may be server side, that help with inventory. I think one of them I'm already using, but an inventory update is something that I think is needed in a future Minecraft update.
And I think you can bet your bottom dollar, you could even bet the house on it, that there will be an update to the inventory. And the minute every single hermit started mentioning it in every single video, you know they're being spoken to by the people at Mojang to get their thoughts on it. And the hermits are very clearly being used to lay the groundwork for people to expect it. Will it be the whole update? I still maintain probably not, but I think it'll be a very major part of it. And it is sorely needed. Like when you're working on a decent sized build, now obviously we don't build on the size of the hermits, but for those that were watching my last 2 streams when I was attempting to do that villager house, my inventory was a mess just on a small build like that size, because you need different blocks here, different blocks there. And when you're even making a build like I was in those 2 streams, just off the top of my head with no planning, you might have blocks in your inventory that you don't even think you're going to need, because you just want to try them in the thing, and your inventory becomes a mess. So it definitely needs something. And I haven't watched Azuma's video yet, but it is on my watch later list. But that is definitely one thing I would like to see fixed, is inventory, because it is diabolical. Even just more space in your inventory I'd be happy with that at this point.
Right. And just the way things are handled. A lot of points that Azuma brought out were valid points and are easily implemented. And I don't expect that it'll be. I mean, there's other quality of life things that could be done, but kind of like with the village and pillage update, villager trading is something that they'd wanted to change the way it works. Yeah, people could argue that it's a little bit overpowered now, but it wasn't just about changing the way villager trading works, but you also had pillagers. So maybe it'll be inventory and something else, biome updates or whatnot. But I think we could do with some kind of quality of life improvements in Minecraft.
Cricket said more space troj. Have you used shulkers? Yes, but have you used shulkers when you're doing a big build like this one? Having to stop, put a shulker down, find the next stack of blocks that you need that you didn't have in your inventory, pick up your shulker and move on. It takes so much time. So much time. So what I mean by more space is more accessible inventory space that doesn't require me to put a block down, to open the block, get the stuff out of that block, and then pick that block back up. That's what I sort of meant. Eleni just throws out stuff she doesn't need. Yeah, but when I'm doing a creative build in survival, I don't know what I need and what I don't. No, that's my problem. But that also touched.
Hey? Sorry, my camera just locked up. Finally,
he's still moving on my screen.
Well, there's some lag. You're seeing you're seeing my profile now.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a heat thing for you. But that also leads on to inventory sorting. So obviously people know I play better Minecraft, and it's so nice that when you've been on a big massive like an end bust or something like that, and your inventory is a mess, and when you go put stuff away later, there's a little circle in the top right hand corner. You just click that, and it sorts your inventory into, I think it's alphabetical, and it puts all the stuff together, and it's just like that would be chef's kiss.
Yeah, and getting into that, something that I'd like to see Mojang do is and I mentioned this before, is maybe take the next update or future update, and work with the modding community. You can find, just like for phones, there's an app for that. There's a mod for just about anything. All these things that Zuma talked about in his video, the modding community has come up with. They're not just things that are speculation. They're things that are actually usable. So my feeling is that maybe Mojang should work with the modding community, because especially during COVID and whatnot, they were stretched thin, and and it was, development was a little bit harder. But if they had like a team to help them work on these quality of life things, it would it'd make it easier on them, and I think more could be put in vanilla Minecraft if they would do that. I know there's kind of, there are probably, I don't know, you'd have to have different legal things involved with the people working in those groups, but I think getting the community involved, because not to get into any details about this latest update, I get the feeling that the community is feeling neglected or left out or not listened to. So if they were to do something along those lines where they felt like the community felt like they were more involved in development, it would be a good thing.
They're definitely taking a hit, like on the fact that they called 119 the mild update, and people were disappointed with it, which I think that very unjustly saying it was a bad update. I think badly named, but I think it was a good update. It needs a bit more polish, like around the end cities and that. And then on top of that, you've got what we talked about at the very beginning, and we don't want to get back into. Yeah, the community and that is not in a good place at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see how that bounces back. And that's why I sort of don't think you're going to see just an exclusive quality of life update, because I think I said in, I don't know, one of the previous podcasts, it may have even been the last live one, I can't remember. It was the last live one, actually. Minecraft survives and continues to survive on the hype it builds up for the next new thing. And they hope the next new thing brings new people in or brings people back.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think putting out Minecraft 1.20 inventory update, do you think that's going to get new people to try the game? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to have an exclusive one of that, but I think inventory, I think will be a major part of it.
Right. Something real quick. I see Cricket Brit.
Exactly, Elaine. Yep.
She commented on, she can hold 64 blocks of pure obsidian, but only 16 eggs. And something that I wanted, and this has actually been mentioned in the combat update, is stacking of potions. There are certain things that are unstackables that should stack. And now that was something that was talked about in the combat update, which is still in the works. That's a whole different development team doing that. But they did mention that they wanted to have the ability to stack potions. Now, only up to 16 again, but I think that would be helpful as well.
Oh, 100%. Considering only some of these potions last for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes,
right?
You're using a whole potion, a whole slot on 3 minutes of game time, potentially. Elaine said, here's a couple of really good points here. Elaine said, I don't think people always realise the amount of work that goes into stuff just because there's nothing big or fancy. 100%. And then Aaron has said, it was a fine update for how it was quickly pulled together, but it's certainly disappointing to get the overpromising and dismissal. And I think, and we touched on that previously in a previous podcast. That was the problem with it, is that they overpromised and then they couldn't deliver it. And so people are disappointed they didn't get their Fireflies and they didn't get their Birch Forest update. Frankly, I don't care. If you compare this to Buzzy Bee's update, this is a massive update. You know, and my thought is really 1.18 part 1 and 2 and 1.19 are really, for me, one and the same update. That's my thought. Yeah. Hey, Zombie, she finally made it. Hello.
All right.
I have to go to work, but I shall lurk. I look forward to the podcast. Have a good day. Thank you for coming in, Mother. I appreciate it. Have a great day. My favourite mother. Apparently the 36 I have.
I think I'm not sure how much I'll be able to edit this down to, but we're just about to wrap this one up.
I think so. There's a fair bit we can cut out because there's a lot of stopping to talk to people and stuff like that. So
right. Is there just real quickly in chat? I've talked about a couple of things that I'd like to see in Minecraft. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you'd like to see in vanilla Minecraft? I mean,
while chat are digesting that, the only other one that I would steal from Better Minecraft is in that one, when you die, there's a mod there that all your stuff goes into a grave. Now, yes, I'm against graves, but not the way this mod actually implements it. This mod implements it that you've still got that 5-minute countdown to get to your stuff. Otherwise, it will go bye-bye. But what I like about it is when you go up to it and you right-click on it, it puts your inventory back exactly how you had it. Now, the reason I like that is if you are in part of the Ocean Clan, you, on InterRealms this season, you live under the constant fear of when do I die next, because you never know when Naku and her Iron Fish is out, and you can be miles away in your head working on a build, and next minute you've exploded into 1,000 bits. And the amount of times I've had to reset my inventory this season alone probably is more already than what it has been in Season 1 and Season 2. And I think being able just to go, oh, goodness, particularly when you've got a full inventory, just being able to go up to your grave and go, boop, and put it back would be fantastic.
Right. Aaron says, like to see more food variety and crops because that's what they like doing. Yeah, I mean, in mods, you see that. That's why I feel that Minecraft or Mojang needs to look at the modding community and what they're able to accomplish, and maybe try to implement some of those things.
Yeah, you definitely get that in the Better Minecraft is a mod pack. So you've got things like I can't think what they are off the top of my head, but there are mods that put more things like into more fruitful harvest or something. So you can get those through mods. But yeah, more food's probably definitely not a bad option.
Okay. Master Swirl. I almost forgot to mention this. I mean, I did a video on it. Concrete, stairs, slabs, and walls is something that's been needed forever. I mean, more variants, and I think that will help builders tremendously.
The amount of time, particularly in this season, when I'm using concrete more than I ever have before, the fact that I don't have slabs and stairs and concrete infuriates me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it would. The things that people build will be even more epic. The things you see from builders will just it'll open so much to have more variety of stairs, slabs. It'll provide more texture. Yeah.
Oh, 100. And the thing that I agree with Master Swell, kangaroos. We want some Australian animals in Minecraft. Please.
Okay.
It would be awesome. Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Get them in mods.
What biome would you put them? Savanna or desert or mesa? Badlands?
The savanna probably makes the most sense, but when we get an Aussie biome, right? Swirl, you help me with this one, right? There's a pub on every corner. It's stinking hot. It doesn't rain, but when it does, it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. And then it has kangaroos, koalas, and
trees.
Every time you enter the biome, you are handed a jar of Vegemite. $120 update. Let's make it happen.
So,
sorry.
Maybe you could have the villagers trade for Vegemite.
Ooh. Aussie Villagers. They got their cork hats on. You know, the big hats with the dangly corks? And they're wearing like thongs, which are flip-flops, whatever you guys call them. Oh, short shorts with their wife beater tops down with their big stomachs hanging out. Oh, nice. This will get the punters back. There we go. The pub villager. That's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah, it sells potions. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that went off there's a conversation for a whole nother podcast. The Australian biome. What does it look like? What does it entail? Flies everywhere.
I like that.
Awesome.
Oh, the Huntsman Spiders. Yes, yes.
Oh, those little babies.
I thought they weren't little. I thought they were huge.
They can get huge.
Right.
It depends. A lot of people, when they see the Huntsmans, they go, "Oh, where's something we can whack them with?" If you let them grow, they will get massive. I think the biggest one I've seen is probably about that wide. I've seen much bigger ones, but generally, when you find them in like where my office is, where I am at the moment, it's sort of half under a house that's half built in. So usually, I'll be sitting here, and not tonight, but particularly in the warmer months, ones that are that size, not a rare occurrence to see that run over the wall. And they're harmless. They eat the cockroaches, so I let them go. The wife whacks them. I go, great.
Well,
So yeah.
I think that about wraps it up.
It does. Do you want to do an outro, sir?
I'm drawing a blank.
No, cricket, they are everywhere in Australia. Huntsmans are everywhere. They get bigger out bush in the outback. They get much bigger out there because no one's there to whack them. But they are everywhere, huntsmen. Everywhere. Every house, everywhere. Every state, everywhere.
Yeah, and I've seen other things too, like crabs. What's the deal with the crabs?
What? Crabs?
Maybe, yeah, isn't there a section of Australia that has like crab migration? Like,
Oh, there is. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head. Yeah, the big red crabs.
Yeah.
That's not everywhere. So mostly around the area where I live, you got two sort of main. You got the little tiny little things, but the two big main ones are sand crabs and mud crabs. Vicious critters those things are. The mud crabs have got obviously they live more in like the mangrovey sort of areas. They got claws on them that are like that thick, and they'll take a finger off if you get held in the wrong spot. The sand crabs are more you find out in deeper water, on sand. We're very creative with our names. Yeah, and but I can't eat them because I'm allergic to shellfish. So I don't know what they taste like, but everyone reckons they taste delicious. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but anyway, I can't answer you about your red ones, but that's the main crabs that we have here.
Okay.
Although, no, we won't go down that line about crabs. Anyway.
Well, that about wraps it up for Minecraft Lab Live, where we talked about bugs, glitches, and what we'd like to see in future updates of Minecraft. We've had awesome discussions here with the community, and this could go on forever. The debate on some of these things could go on forever, but eventually Troj will come around. He'll come around. I have faith. So,
You have to quote Reimagined, you have fun with that.
I love it that that's her thing, because if people, whenever you hear it, it's like she's saying, I don't want any part of that. That's you do you, but you go ahead and have fun with that. So thank you once again for having us here on this live stream. Thank you for joining in. It's been awesome. And this will be a regular thing. We need you guys to join in. If you're watching, you're not a part of the Discord, join the Discord. Put up some subjects, things we need to talk about. Flaherty, in our last he talked about our SMPs dying, and that was our last one. But I've got things that I'd like to talk about, but we want to get the community more involved in these discussions, and there's always something to talk about when it involves Minecraft. Can be controversial or just lighthearted. So hit us up in the Discord.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys here. Having that extra feedback and that extra thing really helps us, to help deliver really good conversations. It was like having Magpie Craft with us for the last podcast, with the three of us, getting different opinions and different thoughts. Like, what people don't know is Miner and I have known each other now for 2 years. And while he was on night shift, he was like the only InterRealmer that was in my time zone, so to speak. So he and I would actually talk almost all day, every day, just via Discord, like text messages and that. He was like my online wife, I could say.
What?
Well, I was speaking to him more than I was speaking to my family, but yeah, you've got the legs for it. I don't, mate. But so we and I have had these conversations a lot, and be able to bring those conversations out now to a live studio audience is really good, because then we get other feedback and other thoughts that sort of come into it. And some of the comments that got made there tonight sort of did make me sort of stop and go, that's a different way to look at it. Not that it convinced me, but it was like, that is different. So yeah, please get on Bugs. Please get on the Discord, interact with us, chat to us, and leave some ideas, some thoughts, and we would love to do this again.
Right.
And next time, more people need to be brave like Enzyme and actually get into the waiting room and come on for a chat. So Enzyme's the one that's broken the ice there now, so there should be no excuse next time.
Right. Right. And
we have Cricket. This is the second one that we've done. This is the second one, Cricket.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what you all were talking about. I can't do the you all. That's not an Australian thing. I can't do that. What you all were talking about earlier. We've got the full... I'm going to hope this is the right link. Yes. You'll click on that link. That'll take you through to the podcast part of the website, and you'll be able to listen to all of the previous podcasts.
Right. And... I'm sorry, blank. Next time we do this, I will be on Twitch. I'll make sure of it. I'll get my setup squared away, and I'll be on Twitch. I think it'll make it a little bit easier for these recordings.
Back on Twitch. Back on Twitch.
One of us. One of us.
One of us again. The father of us is coming back.
The father has returned.
Get the house in order. But no, Cricket, yes, turn them back on, at least just for me. I don't care about anyone else. Turn them back on for me.
Nice. And me.
Oh, yeah, him too. He's all right. But no, thank you all very much. I do think, Miner, we're tomorrow nighting. Yes?
Yeah. I think.
Well, if you're not, I am. So I'm streaming tomorrow night. I don't know what, if it's not Faz, but
no one else has. I don't know if anybody else has replied. I haven't.
Drac will do it.
I haven't checked that section of Discord yet. Yeah, Wiggles as he's trying to run from the ghost.
It'll be the first time I've been killed for a wiggle this week. So anyway, let's go. Wiggle, did you say? I don't think I can do a wiggle tonight. I've got all the alerts off, so I can't turn them back on. They're all off on the... maybe I'll do one wiggle. If I turn it on, do you want to do a wiggle? Let me stop recording first.
You need to have your voice mod on if you're going to do Faz.
I can't get that to work.
Okay. I'm stopping
for whatever reason.
On...
File. Let me just save that Save pro. Let me just save this first and then I'll wiggle. Hang on a minute. These people and their wiggle, Miner. There's something wrong with them. Alright, I'll save that. And I'll keep recording this, why not? Alright, let me see if I can figure out how to turn them back on. Things I do for my community. Things I do. Channel points. You watch me get slammed.